Hello everybody and welcome to this, your Taurus January 2025 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, Clairvoyant. Well, this month we have a great deck. It's surrealistic art, which I think you'll find very entertaining, and it will satisfy your interest in things that are beautiful, because it really is. And you know, of course, that I provide clairvoyant readings to people all over the world over FaceTime and Skype. And the details of that, if you're interested, are in the description below. I charge for those. I have expenses like everybody else. But what I do not charge for is a separate gift, the gift of healing. Now, this would take about 45 minutes, I suppose. The clairvoyant reading takes about an hour and a half. And the healing can relate to, it comes through me and not from me, and you can join the dots as to where it comes from. And the gift was provided to me at birth on the basis that I get nothing in return for it, and so it is free without any obligation or expectation whatsoever. Now, you might just be at your wit's end with something. You might be having problems with business, with relationships, your emotions, or it could be physical or other issues going on in your life. It is as open as you want it to be, because that is what it's designed to do, to alleviate your pain and discomfort. Details for that are in the description as well. Don't be shy. Lots and lots of people make use of it from YouTube, from these videos in particular. Now, there are no video advertisements breaking their way into this content, and so you get to enjoy the reading direct. So let's take 5 cards, and they're going to tell us what is going to be in store for you. 9 of Pentacles to provide you with emotional satisfaction and a sense of abundance. 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Swords, 2 9s, that's great. 3 of Swords, Page of Pentacles, and the 2 of Cups. Well, I'll bring the camera round, shall I? You and I then can have a good close look at the imagery on these cards together while the energy speaks to us both. You take what you want from the paintings, as I will do while I do the reading for you. Well, the actual story here is that there is overflowing love. Love in all relationships going on here. There's a great renewal of yourself as well. Now, you'll appreciate this. This is a great degree of material security and luxury and the finer things in life. Here, and there's a central energy. Now, this is something, well, this 3 and this 9 are very much connected to each other. This 3 and 9 of Swords, which is talking about maybe some heartbreak or thoughts of sorrow, maybe to do with your past even. Let's have a look and see if we can unpack this. And we'll start with this one here, only because it's sitting there in the center. Look, this is Saturn in the 2nd decan of Libra, the 3rd to the 12th of October. Now, Saturn is exalted in Libra, so this is actually quite good for you, I think. But what Saturn can do in Taurus for you at this time of year is that it does 2 things. It ensures that you have a steady drive towards achieving things and forward motion and of material security. But the other thing that it's doing here with this energy here connected with this 9, there's another 9 over there, is that I think that this is actually saying to you not to be too hard on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself at this time of year, because I see some worries or doubts of lack of clarity, even a heaviness. There may well be tension in a 3-sided relationship. Now, Saturn coming in, a lot of people associate it with being the great malefic planet of the zodiac. I actually don't think it is that at all. In fact, what I might do is I might post or pin to the top of the comments a video which I did on the spiritual meanings of the planets. Now, they're organized into chapters, And so you might you can just scroll through it on the bar, the video bar, until you get to Saturn, which is the last one. And I think it runs for about 10 or 11 minutes, I think, which actually shows you what really a good thing it is for you. But here it is saying that it is acting like a strict teacher for you. This time of year, you can have, thoughts about what went on in the past. There could be sadness about past events that have occurred. It's possible now, I think, that there could be some relationships that do break up. There's and an unhappiness in a sense that comes along with it. But, do you know, these are products of your mind. And these clouds here represent your mind, your thoughts. And these thoughts, which are here, and they're also here as clouds, you know what they are, don't you? You know what your thoughts are. They are pictures that you have painted yourself, and you have put words around them that you have come up with. That's what they are. And you can decide whether they're good thoughts or bad thoughts. But Saturn here, I think for you at this time, and look, this is a time, it's got to be said, when people do make a lot of changes in their life. They can be deciding to move jobs, they can be deciding to change relationships, and not just being romantic relationships, but can also be social relationships. There can be arguments between members of families or what have you. And of course, when you have love involved, it's always good to remember that you may love someone, but you may not necessarily be able to have a relationship with them. Do you understand? And with respect to other events or people, it is a fact that Saturn moves along, and it is reminding you to stay on your sole purpose, that some situations, places, or people really are meant to be part of your history, but not part of your destiny. And Saturn, being the strict teacher, makes everything that's fake or impure visible, and it blocks all comfortable avenues of escape. So this is saying to you really to don't be hard on yourself, manage worry, and understand that a brooding or distrustful outlook has got to be recognized clearly as negative energy which separates you from your origin, which is that of the divine, of course. Now, this may also refer to, I think as I mentioned, a tension-loaded, three-sided relationship. And the energy around here is attempting in some way, I think, to explode or to destroy it. Now, in that situation, but in these other situations that are probably going to be going on around you in general, what is necessary is that this is saying that you have got to make clear decisions, because any attempt to avoid making them will just cause you sorrow and worry. Now, it is the case, and well, it may not apply to you, but certainly for some of these Taurus brothers and sisters of yours, I can see that there are some breakups occurring, which don't necessarily have to be romantic, but they could be across the whole spectrum of human existence. Now, there are two rumors going around the world about breaking up that I think this card and energy wants to address here for you. And the first rumor is that breakups should be clean. That's the rumor. The other is that you should only break up when you're not in love. The truth here is that breakups are usually, and probably should be, really messy. The way we all are a bit messy and messed up in a way. The way life itself is messy. It's okay for a breakup to feel like a disaster. It doesn't feel okay, but this is saying that it is okay. Again, this advice is coming through to not be too hard on yourself. You take on a lot for other people, which really they should be carrying by themselves. So avoid self-pity, because self-pity is spiritual suicide. It's the self-mutilation of your soul. And of course, in any breakup, there's lots of words, there's lots of dirt, there's lots of things thrown around and could be thrown at you. But remember, when people throw dirt and rocks and try to bury you, remind yourself that you are a seed, and this is the perfect environment in which you can grow and go on to success and abundance. And there is, as I say, there are, I think, some women in here particularly who are going through some thoughts about whether they're in the right place. Look, any woman who has been pushed beyond her tipping point will step forward, she will pick up her suitcases full of pride and board the next jet straight towards the valley of change. You see, if you are not, if when you are trying to get from somebody love, if you are trying to get from someone respect or commitment, and all you get in return is evasiveness, if all you get in return is pain, if all you get in return is a sort of a suffering, then really it's probably time to give this relationship back to God so that you can both go on and live the lives that you were intended to live. Remember, you need to allow yourself to be loved by the people who really love you, the people who really matter. Now, too much of the time, we can become blinded by our chasing of people to get them to love us. People that don't even matter. While all that time we waste, and the people who do love us, they have to stand on the sidewalk or the footpath and watch us begging in the streets for love. Well, it's always a good time to put an end to this. It's always a good time for you to let yourself be loved. So this energy really is saying that this is now calling upon you to make clear, unwavering decisions. And only in this way can the lost balance in your life, that's the Libra aspect of it, only in this way can that balance be regained. Now, what decisions are difficult for you to make or to face? But do remember this though. Every problem contains its own solution, and you were born for greater things. But that mind of yours keeps turning things over. And let's have a look at it here. I guess before I get to the astrology of it, this is definitely saying for you that, at times it might seem to you as though you and your past are one, but sometimes you really fail to make the distinction between what has happened to you and who you are today. Now, if you have a hard time getting beyond that damaging mindset, then this is encouraging you right now. You are not your past. Although you are changed and shaped by past experiences, who you were yesterday does not control the person you are today, and it doesn't control the person you have the potential to become tomorrow. But this very much is about thoughts coming into you, probably when you least expect it. Do you know, a lot of people approach me in the healing to get out of this negative thought loop. Make that clearer. Yeah, but where's your hand to hold this rose which is just in front of you, or this fruit which is just there as well? Accept that they are there, but do not accept them as being part of you. Now, of course, this is also asking you to have a look at and actually ask yourself how you can get rid of negative beliefs about yourself and change them. This was saying, or did I say, don't be hard on yourself. You know, things that bring about the way we act. You see, thoughts create feelings, and feelings create actions, and then it turns into a loop. And very often, when these thoughts are bad for us, it's a result of fear that this is saying. But this is the fear which is going away from you now. Fear is the pattern that you develop over years, and that affects everything you do in a negative way. It can lead to paralysis in choosing the big decisions or in avoiding situations that are going to help you grow. It can bring about victim mentality. So face your fear, go through it, and transform it into your strength. See, thoughts are the seeds. Feelings are the expressions of those thoughts. And the effects, the behaviors, they are the harvest. I think that this is also saying to you that, and it's in relation to criticism, I think, which was around here. Criticism. There are so many people who will tell you that you can't do this or that, but you are now being told to make sure that your voice isn't going to be one of those voices as well. Don't talk yourself down. The most important words that you will ever hear are the words that you tell yourself. So how might or why might these thoughts be coming to you now? Well, I'm looking at the astrology of this, and it is Mars in the second decan of Gemini, which is the 1st to the 11th of June. Mars can be aggressive, energetic, warrior-like, take no prisoners, bayonet the wounded, particularly yourself. You know your Achilles heel better than anybody else does. Gemini, of course, Gemini is the third impulse of the divine in the creation, the creation of manifestation that's here. And it brings about the explosion of matter into all directions, completely disorganized. It does that so that there is polarity, so that there is positive and negative, up and down, so that there is male and female, so there is difference, because difference is required to form attraction in order to enjoy relationship and procure the good things that are necessary for manifestation to show its appreciation back to the divine. Yes, now, as I say, I do talk about this with people offline, and this is referring to a tendency to put yourself down cruelly, but recognize it and fully see this behavior pattern, because you've got to see it before you can overcome it. Now, who judged you earlier? And how do you now condemn yourself? You've got to forgive yourself. And obviously forgive parents and others. But remember one thing, and it is this, and this is saying this loud and clear. You are loved simply because of the way that you are. You are good enough. But I have great confidence in you, and you'll sort out and do that weeding of the mental garden. And what do you get rewarded with? Well, you get rewarded with love, because here we have Venus, the planet of love and relationship, your planet, of course, in that very maternal, nurturing sign of Cancer. And what this is doing is it's speaking of receptive love, happy relationships, even if one might have gone astray. And there's a great emotional exchange here as well. Remember, this is also saying to you that if you love yourself, you are attractive to others. And your receptiveness towards yourself, well, that prepares you to give yourself totally to someone else. Then a deep emotional exchange is possible. And there's a giving and a receiving of overflowing love. And I think that this union here for you is going to occur in complete harmony. There is here an overflowing of emotional riches at present, and your readiness to receive love makes you attractive. So surrender to yourself, to others, and to life. There's close bonds, togetherness, love, harmony, and I think a relationship here that is strengthening, new relationships which will be fulfilling and which are infused with mutual love, respect, and caring. Now, quite interestingly, let me have another look at this. I'm also getting the idea of marriage around here. There's a close friendship coming along, maybe some sort of a partnership. And this is reminding you always to have a connection to Spirit. There's a love about that's both special and equal, and you can give and receive love in equal measure. Now, with whom and in which surroundings can you now share your love? And pay attention to the love that's coming to you now, and remain open, and let it enter you and go deep inside. And say to yourself, there is nothing to do but enjoy what life offers. You see, the thing to remember is that this is it. This is it. It is not a rehearsal for a life yet to open. It's not a preview of a life yet to be lived. This is it. You have a lot of Taurus energy coming up from this, which is this Page of Pentacles. Isn't this a trippy looking card? Do you know, I also think that Gemini and Aries may well be important to you here. Now I had marriage here, now I'm getting pregnancy and birth about here. There's a great renewal and so you're going to hear of births or pregnancies, there's no doubt about that. You will be beautiful and strong, pregnant with life, generous, kind, and benevolent here. More importantly, I think that this is a time now where, and it may be a result of a resolution that you make for this new year, who knows, but you will be following your will or true purpose in life. So this is also about getting in touch with that most important aspect of you and protecting it. Birth of little children, birth of ideas is also here. This is a very productive time for you after what may have seemed like a barren stretch. This is also very good energy for those people who are involved in domestic duties. Something new is entering into your life, so prepare yourself. Now, what must you do in order to be ready for something new to come into your life? And say this: I am now ready for the new beauty in my life. And then we have your planet again, and this time coming into Virgo as I see it. Venus in Virgo. Well, you know that Venus is concerned with love. It's also concerned with money. You like money, don't you? As well as love, of course. These are expressions of your pleasures. Venus here is saying that if your heart is pure and you follow your heart, then your life is only going to gain from this, and good fortune now will be coming along and surrounding you and bathing you in it, provided, of course, that you are taking the necessary decisions that were sorting out the handbrakes in your life. Now, there's gain here. There's a wisdom. I think you'll understand the golden rule of the more I give, the more I receive. There's a reward for your efforts here. There's the realization of your goals, I'm pleased to say. And I'm getting a feeling here of some sort of a feeling of financial and personal independence, material security, and self-sufficiency. I think that around you, projects, situations, and relationships are all going to come together to provide you with material security, material happiness, wealth. Well, maybe it's not wealth, but it's pretty good, and it's a lot better than what has been around to date. Now, Virgo is your sister Earth sign, of course, and is very good at organizing, and I think that you'll get some organizational ability here flowing from this Virgo energy, which of course is going to propel you forward to success and abundance and love, because there's a general period of improvement in all the areas of your life. You could be receiving things of value unexpectedly. In a sense, there's almost like a karmic reward here. You'll have good luck and good management of your financial affairs. Do you know, this is also saying that if your knowledge and creativity are filled with love, then you are going to gain from all the situations in your life. And the more deeply you are engaged, which means doing those things that you know are necessary but you don't want to do. You see, that's the difference between success and mediocrity, is that most people, they want to stay lying down on the couch, even though this has to be done, even though they don't want to do it. Successful people do those things that they don't feel like doing. Bear that in mind, because you have been born with a special gift, in fact, a treasure trove of them, but they need to be wakened up, because opportunity doesn't hang around waiting for someone who hasn't put in the preparation. And also this, you've got to know what you want. Write down what you want. Nothing abstract or airy-fairy. I want this. 80% of everything that you deal with then becomes unimportant. But do say this to yourself, because it's important for you and it fits you perfectly now, is that everything that happens today serves my growth. The more I give, the more I receive. What a fascinating spread of cards for you. Made all the better for you being here.
Well, didn't I tell you that was interesting art, and I'm sure that you would have enjoyed it as much as I did. Now, of course, the new calendar year, and my best wishes to you all. Now, unless I see you again privately, either for a clairvoyant reading or for healing, then I'll see you again next month. And until then, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next time. Until then, it's bye for now.